Welcome to another video with the Hockey Coach Guru, Coach FRENCHY for the Hockey Nation live show. Today, I'm talking about 8 NHL players who they need a change of scenery in 2022-2023. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to give you that list of the players' profile and their stat and why they need to change the team. Don't go nowhere. Of course, you know the drill. Please click on the like, subscribe to the show. Give me your comments about this video and finally sharing this video with your member of your family or your friends. Tell them the Coach FRENCHY need to reach the 5,000K in the next couple of weeks. Let's dive in talking about here we go. Let's dive in and talking about the 8 players who need a change of scenery in 2022-2023. For this video, guys, I'm going to be behind the camera because you need to read. The first one I want to talk about is Filip Zadina for the Detroit Red Wings, drafted 6th overall in NHL 2018. This season, in 74 games, he has 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points, and he has a TOI of 14-11. During his career, he already played 160 games. He has 61 points with 25 goals, 36 assists, a TOI of 15-13. Zadina never reached his full potential, what the people was expect. We know Zadina have a great career in UQM. He was, possible to be the top 4 and draft NHL, but never got that one. Chevnikov was one. Kokanemi was picked. Katchuk was drafted before him. And the Detroit Red Wings took a time with him, very patient to develop him at the Grand Rapids AHL, but he never reached that kind of the potential. So first of all, Zadina is coming off his ELC and lack of arbitration right this summer. Red Wings general manager Steve Yzerman could hang him to an affordable 2-year British contract to evaluate if the winger can improve into the goal scorer was projected to become, or they could be traded as some possible, the Seattle Kraken or Arizona Coyotes. I believe they could looking for Filip Zadina to reach an agreement with the Red Wings to put maybe play on the bottom 6 of the lineup. The second player I want to talk about is Max Comtois. The Anaheim Ducks drafted 50 overall in 2017. The 23 years old played a 52 game only this year, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points. Really disappointed after he came from a great year in 2021-2022. He played only 14 minutes per game. During his career so far, 67 points and 146 games. Like I mentioned, this year was really difficult for him. COVID-19, he got an injury, short his season, and a lot of subject of the trades during the March deadline put him on the possible trade. It never happened. Again, it's on last season, he got 16 goals and 33 points in 55 games. So the expectation was high, and he never reached that level. We know Troy Terry have an amazing great year over there. We know that team is young. Can the new management, we know they got a new general manager, Pat Verbeek now, have that kind of patience to wait or give him another year to reevaluate the situation with Comtois, or he will maybe trade him during the summer? It's on the subject. One of the 8 players, sure, he would love maybe to have a new place, a new location, have a better year next season. The third one is Pavel Zachac in New Jersey from Devils. 6th overall pick in 2015, 36 points this year in 70 games, only 15 goals. He played over almost 17 minutes per game. So his career, 386 games. He has 179 points. 69 goals, 110 assists. Again, he has a good year. The year before that, he had 35 points in 50 games with a lot of new players. The Jack Hughes, the Dawson Mercer, the Nico Urshire. Possible at some point, the general manager, Tom Fitzgerald, could maybe looking for a trade Zacha at some point. We know also he was many times and the rumor with the Vancouver Canucks to make a trade between both teams. And Zacha was involved about possible to be traded. Would be really interesting what could happen. He's a RFA with arbitration right. So SASCHA is complete a 3-year contract with an annual cap of 2.3. So it'll be interesting what Fitzgerald is going to do. But again, another player should maybe need a new location next season. The next one is Anthony Beauvillier, another draft in 2015, 28th overall pick by the New York Islanders. The 24 years old in 75 games have only 34 points, but only 12 goals. That's maybe what the Islanders are really disappointed about his performance. Play almost 17 minutes also, and a little bit over 400 games. He has almost 200 points with 189 points, 93 goals, 96 assists. He signed a new contract for an annual value of $4 million, and he played under achievement of this contract, to be honest with you, this year. We know now the New York Islanders are looking now to have maybe another direction. His name was at some point mentioned, possible a trade with the Montreal Canadiens. Is maybe someone could be packaged on the, during the offseason with a trade, because the salary he got at $4 million, it's a lot on the contract for the New York Islanders on the salary cap. The next player is Travis Konecny, the Flyers. This year, a better year, honestly, but it's maybe not good enough for him. The 25 years old, draft 24 overall in 2015 at 52 points, 79 games, 16 goals, 36 assists, play over 17 minutes per game. On 428 games, he has 271 points with 110 goals and 161 assists for almost 60 minutes per game. He just tallied a career best 61 points in 66 games 2 years ago. His production sagged to 34 points in 50 games last season as the Flyers struggled through a COVID outbreak and a compressed schedule. The 25 years old bounced back somewhat this season with 52 points and 79 games. We know what's going on with the Flyers. A new coach is coming. The management tried to make some trade. Can he be involved with a trade with other players who wanted to pick to go somewhere? That's possible. He still have 3 more seasons remaining a contract. He carry on an average annual value of $5.5 million and a lack of no trade protection. He showed the potential to be more impactful player, which could entice a rival club seeking a top 6 scoring depth to pursue him in the trade. It's not easy to trade Travis, but because he's still young, he's going to reach his full potential in the next 3 years. Possible a team could step up and make a trade to the Flyers to get him, but a salary of 5.5 could be pushed back some team to not spend that money for the Flyers. They have only 16 goals this season. The next one is Jake DeBrusk for the Boston Bruins. 14th overall pick, again, also in 2015. The 25 years old have a great year at the end of the year, after they move up him with Marchand and Bergeron. 75 game, 42 points, a little bit over 15 minutes per game average, and 321 game in NHL, 92 goals, 84 assists, 176 points for a little bit over 15. It reminds me a lot of Josh Anderson about productivity. Is a guy who's going to score more goals versus assists. Is a big guy like Anderson, a 6'3", protect the puck a lot, can score. He just signed, surprisingly, a new contract, a 2-year contract extension for a $4 million after the request to trade during last November, and the Boston Bruins wait until March and never accomplished that request. And now we heard from the Boston Bruins and him that request is not erased or deleted. He's maybe looking to ask also to get trade whatsoever. He have a great end of the season. So it will be interesting to follow up with him. His name was, of course, mentioned many times with the Edmonton Oilers. We know is that Louis DeBrusk work with the Edmonton Oilers. So it will be something to follow up during the offseason. I would not be surprised DeBrusk leave the Boston Bruins. But the biggest question of Boston is all about Patrice Bergeron if he return with the team next season. The next one, well, his name was mentioned all year long to get a trade at the March deadline. Unfortunately for him, couple of weeks before the trade deadline, he got hurt. He never returned on the ice for the rest of the season. Czech run have a really difficult year with only 47 games, honestly, and 21 points, only 7 goals. After he have an amazing, great year the year before, he reached 18 goals in NHL and 41 points and 56 games. So the expectation for Czech run was great for this year, but never reached that level. Played almost 23 minutes per game. And also during his career, he had 142 points and 337 games for an average of almost 21 points. Look, he have a great contract, 4.6 annual cap hit. That will give him a chance to be really targeting a trade for him for many teams in the NHL. At some point, Arizona will request a lot in return, where I believe was too much for any team looking for Jacob Chychrun to be added on the roster. But look like the Coyotes are maybe now a little bit more flexible. There'll be a player to follow up for the offseason, but definitely it could add a lot on the left defenseman side of any team in NHL by the way he play. So it's another player we have to follow up. And finally, the last one is the goaltender Alexandre Georgiev for the New York Rangers. Never be drafted in NHL, by the way. Last season, he has played 33 games, 15, 10, and 2 with 2 shutouts, 2.92, 0.896. Listen, it's not easy for him. He played backup number 2 behind Chesterkin. He had his up and down. I believe his inconsistency is really the problem. We have a contract average annual the value of the $2.4 million at that moment. Possible Chris Drury let him go at some point. And many teams looking for goaltender, the Buffalo Sabres, the Chicago Blackhawks, the New Jersey Devils. The Montreal Canadiens could be be looking to add a goaltender if Carey Price not return or is out for the season. And during his career, the 129 game, he has 58 W, 48 loss, 11 tie, overtime loss, and 8 shootout, 2.94, 0.908. I feel because he's never been a number 1 in NHL, he have to prove, honestly, he can handle that kind of the job in NHL. And that's what the biggest problem for him. To be with Chesterkin, he cannot show. Inconsistency is another word I can apply from Georgiev for me. He can give you an amazing, great game, and then the next game he will give you beach ball goal. And that's what happening since he's in NHL. That's the reason he's almost at 3.00 goal average and a save percentage about like 0.900. Guys, I want to share with you 8 players need, I believe, a chance the scenery for the next season that will maybe flourish career for next couple of years. We'll see what's happening. We're going to follow up with those players around the offseason. Thanks again for watching another video of the Hockey National Show with the hockey coach, your coach Frenchy. Before we leave, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the show. Leave me a comments below this video. Tell me what you think about my selection. Maybe you have some. Let's talk together in the comments. And finally, of course, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.